And just a reminder, 7 minutes, and I'll just give you a 1-minute warning, and then you'll have 7 minutes for questions.
All right, we can do that. Hopefully we'll try to do our best to stay on time today. Thanks for allowing us to come out and present today. I am Matt Hunnell from Ohio Christian University, Vice President of Advancement and Marketing down at the university. Been there a year as of yesterday, so I live up in Dublin, and I get to drive down here every day and enjoy your community. So I'm one of the outsiders that comes in and brings money into the community. And that's part of what I want to talk about today as we look at this recreation project. One thing we see when we look at our students today, this is probably the most detached group of young people I've ever seen in my life. It's very hard to draw them into community. We deal with a lot of mental problems today that we just didn't deal with when we were young. There's lots of challenges with these young people. So one thing that we want to do constantly is draw them into the same spaces. We want to create community. We want to create groups. We want to let them, help them depend on each other to grow as people. And one thing, when we built the Maxwell Center, one thing that happened on campus was we lost our outdoor basketball courts, we lost a lot of our outdoor recreation, something for students to do outside in community, gathering together. We don't have tennis courts on campus, so we miss a lot of these outside pieces for things for our students to do when they're not in class, when they're not in other activities on campus, and we want them to have spaces to enjoy outside. We understand if we can draw them into community, we can draw them into this community, we can draw them more into the Circleville community to enjoy the weekends and such here. A lot of our students go home on the weekends. We've become somewhat of a commuter school, and we want to be able to get our students to stay for the weekends and give them things to do. So what our plan was to expand our golf course. We have our disc golf course on campus. Right now it's a 9-hole course. That's been completely funded. We're building it out right now. We're putting in the holes. We're cutting some dead trees and such back in the woods. And so we're going to have an 18-hole course that'll be ready in a couple of weeks to play. We're going to have that as a sport that will be a scholarship sport. So that'll bring more students onto campus. We'll also have that available to the community. It's going to be one of the premier courses in this part of the state. So it's going to be really great for the Circleville community, bringing people into play. The funny thing about disc golf, it's one of the fastest growing sports in the United States right now. The top disc golf player in the United States just signed a $40 million contract. It's fascinating. I mean, it just, for my kids, they just went out and played it for fun, but it's a real thing today. It's a professional sport. And so now we're going to have this great course right here in our backyard that can be enjoyed not just by our school, but by the community. And of course, that course sits right off the Round Town Trailhead there, where you have the parking area, the shelter house. So that's available, and will be available in a couple of weeks for play. The other thing that we're wanting to do is to build a full-size basketball court. So it'll be available right there on the court. It'll be right behind the Maxwell Center. We've got this beautiful hill. The idea is to have a terraced set of seating there. Would also be a facility that we'd use for outdoor teaching, for classes. We would use it for performances. And it would be available again to the community. Remember, our students are only on campus they come in late August, they go home at Christmas, they come back in, and then they're gone again in late April, early May. And at that time, the campus is relatively available. So that court will be available to the community a lot. It's available in the evenings, it's available all summer. So it's really an amazing facility for the community to have also, whether they're using it for basketball, one-on-one tournaments, performances, just a great facility to have. We also think it's a great space to allow us to bring Christian summer camps in. This brings people in, it brings people that are going to use hotels, restaurants. So it not only serves the university, it serves the community. Out in that community, we're also going to plan on having seating, hammock stands, just a great hangout space. So we think it'd be really good, not just for the school, but again for the community. We currently have a sand volleyball court kind of in the middle of campus, if you've ever seen it. It's basically a volleyball swamp. You know, it doesn't drain, so we're going to move that to the back of campus. We're going to put in some proper drainage and turn that into just a nice playable court also. And finally, an archery range that we will offer again as a scholarship sport to draw more students onto campus and just to help the college grow. So what we think this really does is it just builds a space that serves both our campus and it serves the Circleville community. And that's our goal, because as a college, we are part of this community. We're part of the fabric of this community. We'll be here 75 years in 2023. So I mean, that's a long time to be established in a community. And so we do want to serve the community. We think that this space will bring in more activity, not just to our campus, but again, bringing in outside summer camps and other organizations to use our campus. We've got a couple of spaces. If you look at the picture we got, that's what the space looks like today. That's what I see out the back door of or a back window of my office, is kind of this, this space. It's funny, when we first started presenting this, we were talking to our students about it, and they said they're very visual, and we just hadn't had time to develop it. So they said they're going to need a way of visualizing it, so this is what we originally came up with. And it was amazing, it got an amazing, they were like, we love that, that'll be great. So that was the original, but you'll see that we do have a little bit better photo of what the vision is. Like I say, the disc golf course is already going up as we speak, but we want the basketball court. You'll see the volleyball court on the other side, and then a terrace. We're kind of thinking about like grass terrace seating. So it's more natural, and just a place really where you can just have some great events out there where students and the community can enjoy that. To date, we've raised $25,000, a little more because we're consistently raising money every day on that. Like I say, the disc golf course has been fully funded and it's done. So right now we're seeking the next phase, which would be to finish the basketball court. That's really the centerpiece of this entire project.
1 minute.
Oh, so anyway, that's the centerpiece of it. So we currently have a spring appeal going out to do that. So we're seeking about $63,000 right now in total. And today we're seeking a grant of $10,000 from the Community Foundation. And just to kind of wrap it up, OCU, like I say, is part of the fabric of this community. We've been here for 74 years, almost 75. Our goal is to train the next generation of servant leaders for this community and for other communities and for the world. Many of the leaders of this community, I know some of you folks in this room are OCU graduates, and many will be OCU graduates. As we draw people into this community and more students, you know, we use the restaurants, we use the hotels, we use the facilities. They become taxpayers in this community. And this is the reason we think it's a worthy project, you know, for the foundation. Thank you.
That was perfect.